Honourable Chair, when investigator Paul Holden appeared before the Zondo Commission on Monday, 24 May 2021, he detailed the flow of money from government entities into the Gupta's money laundering network, where 49,157,323,233 rand and 68 cents, to be exact, could be traced, but he warned the true value was much higher. And he was right, because the South African people are still paying the price for state capture and the 9 lost years under the Zuma ANC administration. On Tuesday, 15 January 2019, the former President Zuma published a 1,000-word statement on Twitter defending his legacy and attempting to highlight the successes of his tenure, much like what the Honourable Hlophe tried to do in his speech during this year's SONA debate. What he and the MK conveniently forgot to admit was the following that happened under their president's watchful eye. The economic growth rate between 2009 and 2017 barely exceeded 1.5%. Unemployment rose from 22.5% in 2008 to 27.5% in 2017. Public debt as a percentage of nominal GDP went from 26.5% in 2008 to 53% in 2017, probably to mostly fund state capture. The price of electricity ballooned 350% from 2008 to 2017. The South African economy was at its lowest growth point since 1945, and poverty was increasingly visible on every street corner, while the Gupta-Zuma alliance was plundering the fiscus and South Africans were suffering and are still suffering due to its effects. Aside from this unending list, government entities bearing the brunt of the plundering included Eskom, ask the MK's Honourable Brian Molefe, Transnet, ask the MK's Honourable Siyabonga Gama, Prasa, ask the MK's Honourable Lucky Montana, as well as SAA, Denel, Safcol, SABC, SA Express and the IDC, to name but a few, not to mention the number of provincial and national government departments. So all in all, House Chair, we've heard a lot of the pot calling the kettle black from the MK speakers today. That's why we find the topic of today's debate, namely ensuring ethical governance and accountability in state institutions, coming from the Mkhonto we Sizwe party, to be the epitome of hypocrisy. The ANC should not consider themselves innocent or absolved either. Many of the ANC leadership today were ANC leadership then. Dit was immers aan die hef van die ANC en onder 'n ANC regering wat hierdie skandvlek van staatskaping en algehele verval plaasgevind het, waar daar nie verantwoordbaarheid en etiese leierskap in staatsentiteite en regering was nie. Daarom het Suid-Afrikaners hulle stem verlede jaar by die stembus dik gemaak en het ons vandag 'n regering van nasionale eenheid wat hierdie skip moet omdraai. Die RNE werp reeds vrugte af, soos ons gesien het met die begroting, maar die ANC sal moet besef dat hy nie meer alleen in regering staan nie, vir goeie rede, en die MK sal moet besef dat hy nooit weer in regering kan of mag staan nie. Ons moet immers uit geskiedenis leer. Dis 'n groot skip om te draai, voorsitter, maar ons, veral die ANC, is dit aan die mense van Suid-Afrika verskuldig om as 'n regering van nasionale eenheid etiese en verantwoordbare regering te verseker. Waar vennote soos die VF+ in die verlede, anders as die MK vandag, deel gevorm het van werklike effektiewe opposisie, sal ons die teenwigte in die RNE voorsien en verseker dat daar uit die foute van die regerings voor ons geleer word. Hy is voorsitter, ek dankie.